Morning, everyone. I'm Essayli, the acting U.S. Attorney. In April, I announced the formation of the Homeless Fraud and Corruption Task Force to get to the bottom of where billions of California tax dollars intended to solve homelessness ended up. California has spent more than $24 billion over the last 5 years with little to no progress in solving our homelessness epidemic. California state officials failed to provide meaningful oversight over the individuals who received most of these funds, and they had little to no answers to the public's demand for accountability. Well, that accountability starts today. Today we are announcing significant developments into our investigation. We're making public 2 criminal cases relating to 2 separate real estate developers who were involved in misappropriating millions of state funds intended to combat homelessness. This morning, federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries, a downtown LA-based developer of affordable housing, for defrauding the Home Key program that is administered by the state of California. The program awarded grant money, which included federal tax dollars, for specific projects to convert motels into housing for the homeless and to operate the units. By April of 2022, Shangri-La Industries, where Holmes was the CFO, had co-applied with multiple California cities to convert numerous properties in California, including a location in Thousand Oaks. The state asked for proof that the company had the financial capacity to build all the projects. In response, Holmes and Shangri-La knowingly submitted fake bank statements which claimed to show that the developer had about $160 million on deposit. Not only were the bank statements fake, our investigation shows that Shangri-La and its affiliates had nowhere near the amount of money they claimed they had in the fake bank statements. The state agency ultimately paid nearly $26 million directly to the developer for the Thousand Oaks project. Even though the developer received all the money from the state, the developer did not complete the construction of the Thousand Oaks project. Instead, our investigation has showed that at least $2.2 million was diverted to pay Mr. Holmes' American Express bill, which includes purchases at luxury retailers. Essentially, he stole the money. In a separate case, a federal grand jury on Wednesday returned a 9-count superseding indictment against Stephen Taylor, a 44-year-old Brentwood real estate agent or developer, charging him with defrauding lenders. In December of 2023, Taylor misleadingly told the lender he intended to renovate and use a property in the affluent community of Cheviot Hills for himself. In truth, Taylor had already contracted to sell the property, which he acquired for only $11 million fraudulently, to Weingard, a homeless housing developer that purchased the property for a whopping $27 million in a transaction that was hidden from the victim lender and others. That money used to purchase the property was purchased with City of LA and the Home Key Fund money. The investigations that led to the Holmes arrest and Taylor indictment are just the beginning. We will continue to go where the evidence takes us. I stress that these charges in the complaint and the indictment are allegations, and they must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. We are tracking billions of dollars of public money coming into our 7-county district that is intended to be going to address homelessness. Too often, this money has been wasted, mismanaged, or outright stolen. We are focused on the organizations and entities that are the recipients of these funds, and we will be seeking charges against anyone who steals this money or misrepresents how it's being used. This also includes public officials who may have enriched themselves at taxpayers' expenses, contributing to the fraud that we're seeing. We're looking at everyone. If you steal money or allow it to be stolen, we will find you and we will prosecute you. If anyone in the public has information concerning the misuse of homelessness funds, we encourage you to report it to tips.fbi.gov. I want to thank our law enforcement partners, including the FBI and the IRS, who you will hear from shortly, for their efforts in this. Together, we will get to the bottom of these cases and we will punish wrongdoers. I now turn the podium over to Akil Davis with the FBI office.
Good morning. My name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office. As the Acting United States Attorney discussed, we're here today to share recent investigative successes that led to charges of individuals who have exploited the homelessness crisis for personal gain at the expense of California taxpayers. In the case of Cody Holmes, he was arrested this morning by FBI and IRS agents. Additionally, several search warrants were served in Beverly Hills and Century City in support of this investigation. As the Chief Financial Officer of Shangri-La Industries, as was discussed, Holmes submitted records and manufactured accounts in order to obtain millions of dollars in grant money from the California Department of Housing and Community Development. Holmes allegedly transferred this money to himself and used it to fund his luxurious lifestyle. In the second case, the United States Attorney's Office filed additional charges against Stephen Taylor, who utilized fake bank statements and lied to lenders in order to obtain loans and lines of credit for his real estate business in high-end neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Taylor's actions not only misled banks, but also took advantage of the city and state's efforts to combat the homelessness crisis. In both of these cases, defendants took advantage of funds allocated to assist some of the most vulnerable people in society who are already without a home, some of whom may be suffering from a myriad of conditions, including addiction. This is not a victimless crime, as the millions of dollars lost could have been used for housing the homeless or other local priorities funded by California taxpayers. The FBI is committed to the Homelessness Task Force to find perpetrators of this insidious fraud and build cases to hold offenders accountable in court. It is my hope that these charges we're announcing today send a clear message to others who may be contemplating similar criminal behavior. I'll repeat again, we need the public's help in identifying offenders. If you have knowledge of this type of fraud, please reach out to tips.fbi.gov, or you could call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you. I will now turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Tyler Hatcher of the IRS.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tyler Hatcher. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of IRS Criminal Investigation here in Los Angeles. As mentioned, we're here to talk about the criminal complaint against Cody Holmes and the indictment against Stephen Taylor and several search warrants that were executed over the last several days. While these investigations are separate and unrelated, it is just the beginning of federal law enforcement holding criminals accountable for their greed. The city and county of Los Angeles have been plagued by deficient programs set up to address homelessness. Businessmen, realtors, developers, and others have taken advantage of local, state, and federal programs aimed at helping vulnerable citizens. This unchecked fraud stops today. While these cases are separate and unrelated, they share some commonalities. Both Holmes and Taylor provided fraudulent documents and bank statements to execute their fraud. Hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake here. Mr. Holmes, the CFO of Shangri-La Industries, used HomeKey grant funds administered by the California Department of Housing and Community Development, or the HCD, to line his own pockets after calling for those funds through false means. Our investigation with the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office has shown a small aspect of the fraud, but there will be more to come. Mr. Taylor similarly used fraudulent means to hide real estate transactions, which benefited him by inflating property purchase by about $16 million. The complaint, indictment, and search warrants executed over the last several days illustrates our commitment to the citizens of California. We will continue to work tirelessly to ensure their hard-earned tax dollars are spent how and where they were intended without criminals lining their pockets. My office with the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office looks forward to fulfilling promises that we made through the Homelessness Task Force. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a couple questions now. Yes, sir.
Andrew Corey with the LA Times. You had said, at least I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, that Mr. Taylor hid the $11.2 million transaction from several people. Did he hide that transaction from Weingart and from the city?
That is an active investigation. Yes.
I just want to clarify then on Tyler. Has he been detained or arrested?
He's already been arrested. He was indicted on unrelated charges a month ago. Similar conduct for submitting forged or fraudulent documents to lenders. Yesterday, the grand jury superseded that indictment to add these specific allegations.
And then, just to clarify, Project Homekey, when you refer to that pool of money, if you will, my memory is that that's connected to money the state gave for housing during the pandemic.
It is money the state has given over the last few years to combat homelessness, and it's distributed often through local municipalities. So this money, the Weingart Center was paid using LA and Homekey funds money.
Okay.
Makes
Is
sense?
it also under investigation whether Mr. Taylor hid the 11.2 million transaction from the state?
It's not. He purchased that he had a contract to sell that property at the same time that he was purchasing it for 11 million. He obtained the 11 million loan fraudulently. Who knew what is an active investigation, and we're looking at all parties involved. So I'll just tell you that. Yes,
So you mentioned Weingart purchased the property. Who's associated with Weingart that you're questioning?
we're looking at all people associated in that transaction, and it is an active investigation. Yes, sir.
I also ask then, what time, like date, generally, if you don't have it precisely, did the transaction happen with Cody Holmes?
With Cody Holmes, the date of,
The alleged defrauding of the housing program.
I don't have it should be in the criminal complaint. I will give you a copy of it. It has all the dates laid out in there. And then on the other case, the Weingart case, I know those transactions happened within a matter of months, the two transactions.
And do you know how long ago?
I don't have, do we have the date? What date was it?
December 2023, and April 2024.
So December 23. Any other questions?